Hello my beautiful people, Travis here, aka Brain Death, and today we're going to make some plastic Damascus chopsticks. But first, I gotta get changed. So starting out eventful, I now have my coffee. Plastic Damascus, what is it? Well, I'm going to give you a bit more in-depth video than I can in my 30 to 60 second videos I post on my socials. So, plastic Damascus. Damascus is traditionally done with a high carbon and a low carbon steel. This dates back centuries to the country of Damascus. This is traditionally used in weaponry, etc. Most commonly nowadays it is jewelry and kitchenware, etc. You can get these beautiful wood grain patterns, but there is plenty of different patterns. It's a beautiful metal. In my case, I am using one plastic, that is PLA. Now you can use multiple plastics, but it's very important you know what plastic you're working with because they all have different heat windows. This is the window where it warms, it melts, and then it cools. It is very important to know that because PLA has a window of getting soft at about 50 to 70 degrees, melts at 190 to 215 degrees, and is safe up until 230 degrees Celsius. This is a quite large window, very easy to work with. The bottle that I've currently got my waste in is HDPE. It is also a thermoplastic, it is also recyclable. Most bottle lids from Coke bottles or whatever are all HDPE. The little triangle with the two in it, that's all HDPE or PE. They're like brothers. So, HDPE, 180 to 200 degrees Celsius. It's a very small window. Once you go over that 200 degrees, that's when you start getting to the danger zone and will start to release poisonous fumes. These will slowly poison you. Obviously, that's not ideal. So, obey those temperatures and you're sweet. HDPE is the most used and also the most recycled plastic in the world. You can find it in everything. Like, I am sure that you have hundreds of bottles of this stuff in your house somewhere. So, today I'm going to be using PLA, which is 3D printing waste, rafts, support material, failed prints. I put them in a blender, make them into a pulp, and then melt them. Today I'm going to be making some chopsticks. Have I made chopsticks before? No. Do I use chopsticks? No. Am I going to have fun? Yes, I am. So while I was talking, I've had this preheated up to 210 degrees. I have a Teflon baking sheet. You can get them in most hardwares or even supermarkets. So Teflon baking sheet. I have a glove for safety. You can use silicone oven mitts, are the best. This is currently what I have. I need to get some silicone oven mitts, but this is just an insulated glove I got from the hardwares. Got my pulp. So yeah, I'm going to pour that in there and melt it. Now you want to make sure that you flatten it out evenly, because in this case PLA is a good insulator. So if I flatten it out completely, it will get cold spots inside and it will not melt evenly. What you want to do is see how it's spotty in the initial one. What you want to do is you want to fold that over. Let's go this way. You just want to press that down. All this is doing is just removing any kind of bubbles. What it's also doing is sucking some of the heat out of the plastic into your glove. Now, keeping in mind this is an insulated glove, so the more heat you put into the glove, the more heat goes inside the glove and you will burn yourself, so keep that in mind. Alright, see how it's pulled the heat out and it pulls from the sheet now. Just give that a bit of a roll. Pick up some of this loose stuff. It's not important because that stuff will come off. So now you have a sausage. Let's give it a bit of a twist. I'll do that a couple of times and then we'll come back to start forming the shape. Future Travis here. Unfortunately, yesterday didn't quite go to plan. I did film a bunch of stuff which I've since deleted, but the rest or stand came out phenomenal. I am very, very, very happy with that. The sticks, however, unfortunately, I chose the best of the 5 I ended up making. They're just a little bit on the small side as far as thin and length. The length isn't a deal breaker because it's a decent size. You could easily EDC these. Unfortunately, at the butt end, I'm not sure how well you can see that, but one is very different to the other. The tip end, they're roughly about the same size. So while they are functional and I'm more than happy to use them, I learned some things from yesterday. I'm going to try and tackle them today. I'm going to put my hair back into sports mode and head back out of the shed. So I went a bit more scientific this time. I weighed the sticks that I have. They all come out between 2.5 and 4.5 grams. So I made 6 grams of pulp and I put that in the oven. I'm going to make a stick and see how that comes out. I have a feeling it may need to go back up to like 8 or maybe 10 or something like that. That way I've got a bit more wiggle room so I can sand or shave some stuff off to make it all nice and clean. So, like previous, I've made the pulp, I've rolled it out into a bit of a sausage. So, while it's still warm, I want to roll it off, get a bit of tack on the skin so it doesn't stick. What I'm doing is I'm putting my hand on a slight angle to already start giving it that taper. And once I can feel that it's got the tack, so you can hear it's not sticky, I use this, which has been sanded and oiled. Again, on a slight angle, and then you just roll that back and forth. I found this is the fastest way to get it nice and round and not too many twists in it. As you can see, it's already started to form that shape. I'll keep going with this and come back a couple of steps later. So I'm just about to take it out for the 4th roll. Now at this stage I found it is very important that when it melts it goes from round and it starts forming a flat bottom on it with a bit of a lip. What you want to do is you want to get it just before that stage. That's when the plastic is soft but not melted. That way you don't have to wait for it to cool down before rolling it. You can get straight onto rolling it and then continue on. So let's give that a go. Too busy talking, ended up doing what I said not to do. So I'm just pinch point stretching, so I'm just light crochet and just giving it a bit of a tug just to thin out some of the fatter sections and thin it out with not making this end too thin. While it's still soft, I'm just giving it a bit of a twist just because a lot of the pattern is just fairly straight. Just add a bit more character to it. That's a much better size. I'm going to give it one more heat so I can do the last thinning out of this section here, and there's a flat spot in here I've got to get rid of. So one last soft heat and I should be able to then start finishing this off. Once I've sanded it, I'll cut the end flat. I'll ram that off a little bit and then I'll use this as a template to create the second one. Great success. So I have officially got chopsticks. These are proper size, proper thickness. There's maybe a millimeter, if that, difference between the ends. They're the exact same length. I've just given them a light rubbing with some food safe oil. In my case I use avocado oil or walnut oil, etc, etc. I found walnut people sometimes are allergic to that, whereas not too many people are allergic to avocado oil. So yeah, that or coconut oil, something like that. Something that you can get warm and rub into any cracks to make sure that if any food goes into there, the oil has a skin on there. Which also means you have to oil them regularly as well, same as wood ones as well. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I will throw some photos of that sitting on the rest I did yesterday. And yeah, if you watch this far, thank you so much for watching. Head over to my Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube at BrainDeef. Also go check out my Patreon, patreon.com/BrainDeef. And yeah, thank you.